I don't know what I did to keep having Team Jeremiah content come across my FYP, but I saw something today that I wanted to talk about. Obviously, Team Jeremiah fans hate Laurel right now, and I saw a comment that said, you know, it's not like Belly is like 18. It's not like she's pregnant and that's why they're getting married. She's marrying for love. And obviously, I completely disagree. I don't think they've ever been in love with each other. Like, not just her not being in love with him. I don't think he's in love with her either. But obviously there is love between them. They've known each other their entire lives. They grew up as best friends. There's going to be like familial love there. But their romantic relationship is extremely unique in that it is like a total trauma bond, and yet also very, very surface level. The singular deep connection that they have is Susanna and the grief over her death. And I just watched the first episode of season 2, and I had like forgotten she said this, but she was like, I just don't want to be sad anymore. And in the first 3 episodes of season 2, we don't really see any romantic inklings between Belly and Jeremiah. And I remember talking about this when season 2 was coming out. Episode 4 was like such a turning point, I feel like. Belly and Conrad are actually having like really nice moments together, and they're actually having fun. And then right here, she catches herself having feelings for Conrad again. And I say again, but I don't think she ever stopped. It's only been like a month since their breakup. She says, he makes it so hard not to love him. And when he's like this, I remember why I did. And then she corrects herself immediately and says, used to, I mean. Like, she tries to shut that down immediately. And right after she says used to, the camera pans towards Jeremiah. And then they start talking. And then after this, after her immediately trying to shut down her feelings for Conrad, they then have the scene where they're holding hands on that little ride. And after that, everything is like very flirty and romantic between them. She believes Conrad doesn't want her. She thinks she's lost him. And right at the moment, he's not really putting his full focus on Belly because he's distracted with the whole house situation. And she's also lost Susanna. And another thing I saw in season 2, episode 1 that I had forgotten about. Belly telling Susanna that she feels like she's losing everyone already. And Susanna saying, well, you'll always have this place to come back to. You love this place like I do. And the past couple weeks, I've seen people, like, jokingly say, like, does Belly even love either of these brothers? Like, I think she just wants the beach house. And honestly, I think that's a little bit part of it. Not to say she doesn't love either one of them. Like, spoiler alert, my opinion is that she has, like, familial love for Jeremiah and she's in love with Conrad. But I do think her wanting to keep, like, this beach house is a big part of it. So, she's lost Conrad, she's lost Susanna, she doesn't want to lose Jeremiah, and she doesn't want to lose the beach house and the connection to, like, the summers she had growing up. So she clings to Jeremiah, and thus begins the trauma bond and the codependency. After this point, she's, like, very gung-ho on starting something with Jeremiah. And he's actually the hesitant one at first. And I've seen people say, like, he was very emotionally intelligent in season 2. And I will admit, he seems like that at some points in season 2. Like, even with the scene of him and Conrad at the motel, where he's telling Conrad to tell Belly his feelings. And part of this might be my anti-Jeremiah bias, but I feel like he seemed emotionally intelligent because throughout season 2, he was the one winning. She was giving all of her attention to Jeremiah throughout season 2, and he knew it. But the little moments that Belly and Conrad did have, he was always lurking. And you could still see the glimpses of immaturity there whenever he would see them together and his insecurities would get brought back up. Even though they're a trauma bond, the relationship is completely surface level. And I say that because their entire romantic connection is just based on physical attraction. And I believe that's why we're seeing so much of it, unfortunately, for our eyes. And I also believe that that is one reason why Belly was so upset about Lacey. I think she was upset because, it was a betrayal. But also, that's really all she and Jeremiah have. And they're just, both ultimately afraid of change. They cannot not be around each other. And it's, very unhealthy. It's like they're each other's coping mechanisms. She is what he leaned on after his mother died. They got together right after Susanna died. And then she felt guilty that she had let him down when Susanna was going through her cancer and her treatment, and Belly was with Conrad. So she put all of her energy into making him feel okay, and that is just her life now. He leans on her, she calms him down, cleans up his mess, she mommies him, and that is what they're used to. And that's why she's willing to not go to Paris. That is so crazy to me. And why she's willing to take him back so easily. And why she's willing, at least right this moment, to spend the rest of her life taking care of this man-child. Even though she's having to give up so much of herself to be with him. And honestly, when have we seen them have a deep conversation about anything else? With Belly and Conrad, their connection goes very deep. Season 2, episode 1, that whole episode was almost their phone calls. They would just stay on the phone for hours and hours talking to each other, and he was actually opening up to her. And she, in turn, expressed thoughts she had about the state of her parents' marriage to him and what she wants in a relationship. And he listens. And we see what Jeremiah gets from this relationship. But what does Belly get? Because it's not love. These two are not getting married for love. They are getting married to stick to the status quo. And because I honestly feel like there's a clock running on this relationship. I feel like it's not gonna be long. Even if Conrad wasn't back in the picture and Belly wasn't spending a summer with him, I feel like it would not have been long before she realized that this relationship is holding her back, especially with the whole Paris situation. And I think he may subconsciously know that, and he wants to lock it down. And it sounds good to her right now. But luckily, she's not going to be attached to his hip all summer. She is not going to be completely isolated in her own little bubble with him. And she's going to be with Conrad and remember that, oh wait, I actually am in love with this guy.